that was like my sleeping spot, and I was. And then, like when we started to expand, I opened this wall.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, we were able to like bring on some more people. Once you get new money, you get new people, more talent, more network, more contacts. So I feel pretty blessed about the good. Your vlog, yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi. Want some pizza? Maybe do some pizza. The pizza if you want. Or you know what? We can eat after the interview. So
Free pizza.
Yeah, for sure.
Free pizza.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It doesn't.
Road to the IPO, le podcast des entrepreneurs aguerris. Today's podcast is in English and I have a special guest, Lennie Moreno, founder of Sofdesk. Hi Lennie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, man.
How's it going?
Everything is roses.
Thank you. For those who don't know you, who are watching this video and listening to this podcast, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Lennie Moreno, CEO and founder of Sofdesk. I'm also involved in a lot of charity work.
Okay.
I'm also involved in a lot of events in Montreal when it comes to tech startup community. I also rap, and I'm just a good guy in general.
Yeah, good guy.
I'm a good guy, but you don't. But if you accept my dark side,
okay,
then I'm gonna love you forever.
You listen to that? You listen to that? Nice. Let's talk about your business.
Yeah.
I want to know what is Sofdesk?
Sofdesk, we are a sales accelerator for small to medium contractors.
Okay.
So essentially, if you're a solar installation company or a roofing company and you're looking to scale quickly, we give you all the tools to do all the designs, proposals, financing, project management, permitting, shading analysis, everything that you need to do in order to be organized from A to Z, all under the same platform. So if you're usually like local contractors are really good people, but they're not always the most organized people. And the types of proposals that they'll show up with is like some piece of paper. We really bring that experience to a whole other level so that the local guy can actually compete very easily with the conglomerate with all the tools that we give him to really enhance the experience of the homeowner.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what did you decide to start your own business in the solar industry?
Well, my first company, I used to be a solar installer. So I used to sell on the road. I used to do these site assessment. So I had a lot of experience in the field. Taking a project from, hi sir, how are you? You're interested in more information? To actually having the solar panels directly on the roof. So everything in between, I actually knew how to do. So I saw that there was something missing in the industry. And what was missing was there was no technology. You needed to use like 6-7 platforms in order to get your project. So the whole goal was to get one platform to get everything together faster, more efficient, more compelling, and that's what we're bringing to the
Sofdesk.
Well, that's what we're bringing to the local small to medium contractor. Everything that's like home builders. This is our grand vision. Right now, it's solar and roofing.
Okay, cool. I'm pretty sure that the people that see in this podcast want to know how big is the solar industry.
Solar industry is, well, I mean, if you just look at the amount of contractors in North America, there's about 8,000 of them. But then there's all the distribution companies, the manufacturers. It's huge in many other countries. If you look at like renewable energy, the only reason why it's not big in Quebec is because the price per kilowatt hour is too low. So you need to have the price per kilowatt hour at about like 12-13 cents, plus have some government subsidy to support the homeowners and the businesses that want to go solar or to get off grid. So right now it's too cheap with hydro to actually even think about renewable energy. But in many places across the globe, the price of energy, the price of a kilowatt is actually very high. So that's why solar is a great financial option. It's not just to be green and to be like a peace and love. It's really because financially it makes sense, and on the long term, in terms of sustainability, it also makes sense.
So what is the biggest market right now? United States, Europe?
Well, for us, it's definitely the US. If you look across the globe, you got some tough competitors with like Germany, Australia. There used to be the UK, but now they've removed some subsidies there. There's actually Japan as well. That is starting to do pretty good. And I think the next big spot is going to be Mexico.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
Wow. For those that are watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, if they want to talk to you, where can people research you? Where people can go, and which platforms are you on?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn. And Instagram, and
Lennie Moreno?
Lennie Moreno. Just my name.
Okay, cool. So if you have any questions to ask Lennie, he's available on LinkedIn, Instagram. We are going to put all the links on this description on the video. I'm
not sure about how long it's going to take for me to answer your questions because I may be away or doing my job, but I'll be glad to actually go through any constructive criticism or real questions that comes from the heart.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about yourself. I want to know your 10 essential as an entrepreneur. I mean, your 10 things that you need to know as an entrepreneur.
Wow, that's a long list, my friend.
Or let's say 5. There is this, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're referring to the video that I made.
Yeah.
You know what? Scrap that. Like the video is good. It's it's Lennie Moreno's guide, to be like an entrepreneur. But it's not necessarily made for everyone. If you're looking at the 5 things that will make sure that you have a successful, thriving business and that you have a chance to raise good money and to scale properly, you need to have your timing correct. You need to have your team in place. Having your team in place means that you need to find everybody that's better than you at the stuff that you don't know how to do. That's crucial because investors, they invest in your team. They invest in how good your team is and how do you complete each other. So there's your timing, there's your team. You need to do a thorough market research. People get stubborn, huh? They're like, I have this idea, and I'm not gonna look because it's my idea, because they're scared to actually see what they can find out. But most of the ideas, they're actually out there. It's just, what's your secret sauce? So you need to do a proper market research. Then you need to have a nice business plan. Using the Kawasaki model is very efficient. It has all of the major components in order to...
What's the
It's the Kawasaki model was done by Mr. Kawasaki. Mr. Kawasaki, he has found a way to aggregate a lot of business plans to say, here's 10 slides that I think investors will actually pay attention to. So instead of having like 60 slides, you only have 10 slides.
10 slides.
And essentially investors, they only have time for 10 slides. They don't have time to go through 100 or 200 pages of how you're going to segment each market, and they want to see big picture. And if the big picture makes sense, they're going to ask you for more information. And then you need to have all of the rest of your numbers, everything figured out, and make sure that it's properly documented so that you're ready for the due diligence.
Cool.
So that is, and I think that the last thing, I would say as an entrepreneur is to stay who you are. And to remember what's your true identity. And for that you need to do the exercise of looking yourself in the mirror. So that is super, super important. Being true to yourself means that you will attract the people that belong in your life. If you try to be like someone, you're going to attract the wrong people, because they're attracted to the fake portrait that you're actually perpetuating all around, but nobody knows that it's not you. So you stay you, and everybody else that wants to be with you,
they will come.
They will come. So, and that includes investors and good talent and management and whatever employees that you need to find. So you need to be you. that is probably the most important out of the 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about max out your credit card? Is that a good thing?
Yeah, the maxing out of the credit card is only made for a chosen few that are capable of sleeping fine, even with hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. It's not made for everybody.
Okay.
It's really just made for everyone that wants to keep thriving, that is invested in multiple things, that they truly believe that these multiple things will flourish at some point, and they're not scared. They are not scared to face risks or even consequences.
Okay.
I think that is where the true grit of the entrepreneur comes from, is being able to absorb stress and risk like it's nothing. And that's one of the great abilities that I've been blessed with.
Okay.
So the reason why I'm saying like max out your credit card is made only for a chosen few that are actually cool with that. Because a lot of people, they'll max out their credit card going to fucking whatever, like
Costco
or some jewelry store. You know? That's not what you want to put your money in. You want to put your money in where it's going to bring a return on investment, whether it's medium or long term. But you need to be capable of not living lavish for a certain amount of time. I lived in this office for 2 years. I've stepped on a lot of things and parties, and just based on not just financial means, but me putting all my energy in the right holes, you know. So yeah.
So you listen to this only for the chosen one. Don't max out your credit card.
Yeah, if you want,
let's also talk about you're also like a musician, huh? You also like do music. I think you're a rapper. You do some Tupac and Dr. Dre.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's all about having an outlet. For me, it's strictly therapeutic. And it's also inspirational. So if anyone is listening to a track that anyone made and finds some inspiration, or it gets them to run faster on the treadmill, or to, push some more weights, or get them to nail a meeting or anything, I think that it's really made for that. So for me, I do it because it makes me feel good. It's good for therapy, so I don't have to, end up in the 6 o'clock news or anything. It's really more so I can actually just be cool and calm, and all of my thoughts, I can just write them. And then on the flip side, I think that I've been doing it for quite the amount of years, just because it's something that helps to disconnect from the day-to-day hustle and managing of scaling a business that is as successful as ours.
Like a hobby, Is it?
It's a hobby.
Yeah.
It's a hobby.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to talk about the. I know you help a lot of young people, teenagers. Like, how do you help them to overcome the struggles?
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the most important things, that a lot of people are actually just looking the other way. I mean, it's not everyone that has the capabilities of getting out of their comfort zone to help some people that are in need. It's not fun, to be in any of these shelters or detention centers. It's not like, let's go party, like, it's not like that.
No.
It's more in a way that it builds you, and it gives you perspective on what's the realities of a lot of other people. Like I was saying earlier, just a few hours ago, I was at the Welcome Hall mission, and they were showing me around, and we're talking about various ways that we can partner in between my foundation and their movement, which is huge. And it's like, it provides foods and clothes and training, and how to create a resume. And I mean, there's so many things that a lot of people are looking the other way because it doesn't affect their lives.
True.
The work that I do with these younger guys are usually at detention centers, because a lot of people are scared to go see guys because they're either like gang affiliated, they've been arrested for like attempted murder or, you know, armed robbery. But the fact is that there are people like you or me that had various opportunities that are not exactly in line with I would say most of the people that were like silver spooned, you know, and if you find a way to connect with them, and me, I do it through hip hop.
Okay.
So I'll talk about rap, I'll talk about like the East Coast, West Coast war.
Yes.
I'll talk about, you know, how I'm actually passionate about rap music and all this history, and how I'm passionate about what Martin Luther King, you know, tried to do.
He did what? Yeah.
Back in '63 all the way to '68, where it was really, really active.
Yes.
I find that once you relate and you connect, then they're gonna listen to you for some other stuff. Okay. So that's just like the platform. So you start with rap and you talk about whatever, like Lil Uzi Vert, you know? They'll be like, yeah, Lil Uzi Vert. And then you divert into like business and how to actually, you know, get dressed for an interview, how to get prepared, who to surround yourself with, you know, like what's the way to present yourself, and if you get into like a heated situation, like what are the tricks to walk away, and how to put your ego aside, and a lot of like the common things that they need to hear. Yes. But it's often like a dog eat dog world. Okay. And the dog eat dog world is not productive, because it's only like who's the biggest thug on the block, you know.
It's only fights in.
I mean, it's not bringing anything that's truly productive whenever violence is involved. You know, again, to get back to Martin Luther King, he said, and I remember sampling that specific part of the speech inside one of my songs, and he says, you know, men are often talking about war and peace, but it's not about that anymore. What it's really about is, you know, it's either the choice between violence or non-existence. Okay. Wow. You know, so it's like you don't want to be faced with a choice. It's like, listen, you don't want to be like put in a situation where you have to resort to violence. Yes. It's like, I'd rather not live than actually have to take arms and start to shoot or punch or like, you know, if you look at all of the mixed martial arts professionals, you'll never catch them in a fight. Rare are the ones, unless they have like, you know, concussion or, you know, trauma or anything like that. Yeah. The true professional mixed martial artists, they will never fight.
Because
never fight
in the street.
They have discipline and they use it as a way of life, and it's art. Yeah. But it's not there for like true hardcore violence based on hate. Okay. It's just art. So there's a big difference. And if you understand that, then you can explain it, you know, to some people that wants to use violence, but you know, you can give them another option. And the other option is called, we're both human beings. We can both sit down, we can have a conversation, and we can hash it out. And you know what? Yeah. If we can't find a solution, we'll both walk our own ways, but in peace. Yes. And that's usually the best way to go at it. Yeah. That's usually how it is.
You're doing a great job. I believe, you're doing a great job.
Thanks, man.
Those kids, they only want to be listened. They only want somebody to sit down and say, hi, how are you doing, you know?
I agree. And a lot of people are scared to talk to these guys because they think that like they're going to be attacked or something. Yes. It's not like that. No. This is not the reality. The reality is that, you know, like last time I was there, like I was giving high fives and like people were hugging me, you know, and it was just pure love and just pure like optimism and like positivity. It had nothing to do with anything that they lived outside of the detention center. So, you know, I need to go back soon. Because, you know, it's like you want to see like the work and like the result of some of the stuff that you've done. And that's where it has like a true impact. Wow. Because, you know, we can fucking make money all we want and we can do all this stuff. And I mean, how big can your yacht be? You know what I mean? Yes. You want a 100-footer? I got a 200 foot. I mean, like, what's
that like what's
there's no end to how much money and material you can actually accumulate.
Yes.
The thing that you accumulate through material and wealth is, unfortunately, too often is a platform where everybody listens to you. I mean, there's people with so much money that are complete fucking idiots.
Yes.
And people worship them just because they have money.
Yeah.
But they have no real base of true optimism and love and compassion and wanting to help, you know, people in need. There's plenty of that, that they all keep all the money to themselves. And that's not the way to look at life. You need to look at life like you didn't pick your parents, you didn't pick your neighborhood, you didn't pick where you're born, you didn't pick your financial situation. Yes. And if you work hard to get into a good situation, you need to recognize that other people, they don't have the same opportunities. And this is where you need to give back and you need to share. Everything I'm doing here is so that I'm building a platform so I can share more and more and give back more so that people can actually understand that this is really what it's about. You know, it's cool to dress fly and, you know, to drive like a nice car and all that. That's all cool. But after that, what's left? You got to give back, man.
Yeah, you have to give back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a great guy. I believe that people are watching this and listening to this, they will know who you are for real. And
you know, you like you get to that level at some point just by, I think, retracting yourself from all the concepts of society, and then you get to make your own ideas about stuff. And I'm not saying that I have the solution. I'm not saying that I have, like, you know, the perfect outlook on things. But I'm open to learning more about what's happening and learning more from other people that are in different situations than me, because that's how you keep an open mind and you can actually work, you know, towards the promised land.
Before we go to the last question of the podcast, I just want to remind people where they can contact you. Which platforms are you on again?
You are.
I want them to talk to you.
Like I said,
Facebook.
I have a page, Facebook. I mean, LinkedIn, Instagram.
Lennie Moreno.
Cool. It's much appreciated. You know, I'm glad that you guys are taking the time to
do this.
To do this work.
Yeah.
And I wish you good luck.
I have one last question before we end.
Okay.
Who's your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration?
Yes.
You know, it's not a person. And it's not an animal.
Oh, wow.
But my biggest inspiration is being aware of all the stuff that I see daily. And I get inspired by everything I see. And I think that my true biggest inspiration is just being alive and having the luck and the blessings of just watching stuff and making my own ideas and not living like under a communist regime that is, you know, telling me how to think, how to feel, how to act. I'm blessed, you know, for one part, to be under a good government that's somewhat liberal, we'll say. And I can make up my own ideas and I can be in, you know, certain social situations and learn exactly what I want. And that's what inspires me, is to see people that wants to help people, and even some people that doesn't want to help people. It inspires me to do the opposite. So, you know, it's important to stay aware of your surroundings and not to just stay neutral. Again, like Dante said, the hottest places in hell are reserved for the people that stays neutral in times of war. And that is a true fact. If you just stay quiet and neutral, it's like, why are you living? I mean, you know, it's like, if you're not ready to die for something, then you're not fit to live.
That's good. Thank you very much, Lennie. I appreciate.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for this podcast. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.